Well, hello, beautiful soul. Thank you for tuning in. Guess what? Here's my eyebrows. But anyways, right, we're going to set the intention, right? Father God, we ask of this moment for clarity. We seek clarity over the collective. To whoever is channeling this message right now. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and see who needs help today. Right? Who needs assistance from Spirit? So, Spirit, Father God, all love and light, right? Maybe a little bit of bark and bite. Let's figure out what we got going on. Let's go ahead. Woo! Alright, Spirit. So, Seven of Wands energy, right? So you were currently standing your ground, right? Through the challenges, through rivalry, being defensive in a way, right? So take what resonates, right? 777 is very significant, okay? So Mars and Leo, heavy fire signs, significant. Take what resonates. So, okay, you didn't admit defeat. You stood your ground, right? You weren't powerless, right? Throughout all the criticism, right? These energies wanted to make you out to be something that you're not. Spirit, tell us more about these energies. Tell us more about the Seven of Wands energy. What is it the collective needs to know? Okay, so the Hanged Man, right? Okay. So a lot of these energies, right? Hangman energy. A lot of these energies were just stalling, operating out of the ego, right? Very desperate energy. Okay, it's they're at a standstill, right? When it comes to adaptability, a lot of these energies are avoiding self-sacrifices in order to, step through the new doorway or gain new things. They have to let go of things that no longer serve them, if that makes sense, right? But that's for them to figure out, right? Whereas you, on the other hand, right? You sacrificed so much throughout this uncertainty. You've had a perspective change. You've been in a energy of waiting, right? But you've been following your intuition. Okay, a lot of these energies, they wanted you to be left up high and dry. They wanted you to be dependent on them. So a lot of these energies, right, they don't understand that your confidence comes from yourself, comes from your experiences, not external. Your confidence doesn't come from outside of yourself. The validation doesn't come from outside of yourself. Chosen, you've already learned this lesson. Right now, it materialized, if that made sense, for you to get it because of your stubborn nature, right? But this is all in God's due timing, okay? This is all at a natural pace of your own understanding. This is exactly what you prayed for. So a lot of these energies, they are familiar, right? So like Spirit mentioned before in the past readings, like, hey, don't attach yourself to these energies. You know what will come of it if you do. So that's why you go there to learn. Spirit, tell us more. So know that Spirit has your back is what I'm getting at. Okay, up or down? Okay. So yeah, Four of Pentacles energy. A lot of them are just stuck in greed, control, hoarding, materialism, possessiveness. So a lot of these energies, they can't control themselves, so they feel the need to control others. When they see an energy who embodies everything that they try to portray themselves out to be, it's going to rub them the wrong way because they have to put in all these amounts of efforts to be something that they're not, and you effortlessly do it naturally when you wake up and you just exist. There's a difference between essence and performance. So Capricorn is significant, okay? Numbers 444 is very significant, right? So heavy earth placements, take what resonates. Spirit, tell us more of this current energy. Four of Pentacles, how greedy these energies are, how they could have just listened, you know, instead of came after collective, right? Spirit, tell us more about this collective, what they need to focus on. Okay, so Seven of Pentacles, right? So, okay. So you pulled yourself away from setbacks, right? Impatiences, lack of growth, unfinished work. No, you made sure that you set yourself up, right? You made sure that you became patient, because patience is still a virtue and it continues to grow. You know, lack of growth, understand that you've been doing nothing but growing, while other energies have been trying to stop your growth, been trying to delay your growth, trying to diminish your work, right? Just understand that the Most High God will reward you, right, for your patience, your perseverance, your diligence, and your progress moving forwards. Taking the higher path, it's going to look like disrespect to a lot of energies who don't respect themselves. Understand that a lot of these energies don't carry morals and values as you do. Understand that you're not a self-righteous person. You're not a bad person either. Neither are you good. You're everything that you are. And when energies can't figure you out, they'll assume everything under the sun. You know, energies typically get mad at things they don't understand, right? They get mad, they get frustrated when they don't know some things, so they react, if that makes sense. So same way when a child, right, gets angry at themselves for not knowing the answer. Same way. So Spirit, tell us more. Yeah, judgment. So a lot of these energies are under judgment. Not to mention, right, these energies are going through a rude awakening, a renewal. You got them in states of reflection, trying to figure out their purpose, reevaluating themselves, wondering, why did we do this? What made us do this? What gives you the right to harm another? Go out of your way to harm another, first and foremost. Now, these energies have failed to learn. They're very self-loathing and very indecisive. So when chaos is presented, chaotic energy, it's very scattered. A lot of these energies can't think straight. There's no clarity, there's no peace. So what they do is that they prey on others who have peace and clarity in the midst of chaos. They project onto them. It's the easy way out. It's the scapegoat. You chosen, on the other hand, you blew God's trumpet. You let them know, like, hey, it's what you call a whistleblower, but in all reality, you'd rather just stay in your own lane. You don't care what other people do behind closed doors. It's not your business. It's only a problem until the people make their problems become your problem, if that makes sense. But that's your choice, whether you react and make that a problem, or you just look at it like, oh, that's a lesson. Goodbye. That's it. Spirit, tell us more. Ace of Wands, right? You're gaining a creative spark. That makes sense. Inspiration, enthusiasm, energy, new passion, because you took the higher path, right? You called judgment on those souls, on those energies that came up against you, because you know your worth. You know your value. You know who you are. And these energies don't know who they are, and they try to paint you out to be something that they are. You know, it's almost a cry for help when people project and start things for no reason. It really is a cry for help. You know, it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of bravery to step forward and be like, I need help. It takes a lot for someone to do that. They have to put their pride and ego to the side and choose themselves because they love themselves and do that actual internal work. It's not going to be easy. It's hard. But the more you do it, the more you push yourself, the more you show yourself that you love yourself and that you matter and that you have value and you are of importance in this life. So don't waste your life. Don't waste your breath. Focus on what someone else has going on or what they're doing. What are you doing to make your life better?